She indoors when she gets down there? She does a lot of outdoor stuff too, doesn't she?
So she works with some interesting clients. A lot of it's indoor, like so she's with a new company now, and so they do like it's a lot of dairies and actually the people like craft, and so a lot of it's indoors. She was indoors today.
Yeah, sound a little bit open air.
Yeah.
Well, we have a countdown, Michelle.
Hit. My clock says 7.
I have 6:59 in mine still.
We'll go by yours.
Oops, 7 now. Okay, all right. I'd like to call to order the meeting with the Board of Directors of the Pleasant Hill Recreation Park District for Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. Let the record show that all directors are present except for the Chair, Derek Wurst, who has an excused absence. Bobby, would you lead the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, item number 3 on our agenda is public comment. This is the portion of the meeting in which any member of the public can address the board on any subject not on our agenda this evening. Seeing no members of the public present, Michelle, are there any email?
We do not have any via email either.
Okay, we'll close public comment then and move on to item number 4, reports and presentations. 4.1, the report from our general manager, Michelle.
Great, thank you. I've attached a written report. I wanted to highlight a couple of things. One, just that the Roger Smith Park restroom is open. We are under temporary power until August 13th when PG&E hooks up permanent power, but we're under a temporary occupancy permit, so it's open. The playground's open. Hallelujah! Everything is working. I've gotten some great feedback already from bocce players who are very happy about the new new restrooms, and so that's exciting. I want to thank Lance for getting shepherding that project through. At the end of August, after we do the notice of completion and finalize it, we'll do some kind of a ceremony out there. I will be out of the office next week. It says July 22nd to 27th. I'll be out Monday through Friday. It's my annual anti-camp, so I will be out with the kids. So that is exciting. And then I'm not sure if any of you have heard, we've gotten a number of comments. Tom included in his report, but the large Chinese elm that was at the playground, it was leaning against playground structure. So we needed to remove it so that wind didn't blow it onto the children who were playing. So we've gotten some questions about future shade, and since it was an emergency, we haven't made any plans, but just to kind of let you know that it is on our radar. I've talked to a number of concerned residents about the lack of shade. It definitely was a very nice shade tree over that structure. So it was a big loss, but Tom's pretty sure it was planted in the 50s, so it was a very old tree. And then just wanted to thank staff for excellent Blues and Brews Friday and Saturday. We were again blessed with good weather, which was nice, and the staff pulled together and all the volunteers and everyone to make that happen. Appreciate the board members who were in attendance, and also those who volunteered. So it was another really great event. We'll do a wrap up for the board at a later date, but staff is just coming down from that event. So, but with that, I'll take any questions.
Do you have any questions for Michelle? Okay, thank you, Michelle, very much. I would like to ask that we make sure that there's a report in within the next 2 months about what we're doing with respect to the replacement tree. So if we can make sure that makes it onto your report, that would be wonderful. Okay, we'll close item 4 and move to our consent calendar. Item 5. 5.1 is to approve bills to be paid. Warrants dated July 23rd, 2026. Any questions or comments from any board members? I'll entertain a motion and to approve the calendar.
I'll move the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. All in favor? Aye. Moving on to item number 6, our action item, 6.1 is to adopt a budget for fiscal year 26. 7, Michelle, you have a staff report for us?
Yes, it's a brief staff report. So you reviewed the draft preliminary budget, say not really a draft, on June 26th, and I'm sorry, on June 25th. Which were the amendments to the second year of your 2-year budget. And at that time, you approved the preliminary budget. And per board policy, you adopt the final budget at your second meeting in July. That is the action to be taken tonight. There are no changes between your preliminary budget and your final budget. So at this time, there are no changes between those two documents. But I'll take any questions and we're requesting that the board adopt the final budget amendments tonight for 26-27.
Thank you, Michelle. Any questions for Michelle? Anything that's come up in your mind since the last time we looked at this budget or anything like that? Any questions? No.
Just a little clarification on the columns and the title of the columns. So just for example, so expenditures, the FY 27 adjustments, and another column, FY 27 adjustments, preliminary budget. So those adjustments from what we saw in June?
No, this is the exact same document you saw,
Exact same document.
the exact same document. So the preliminary adjustments, this fiscal year 27, that last column is the exact same that you saw before. There are no changes to that. So
Okay.
you're adopting the preliminary budget that you approved in July or in June. So there are no changes.
Is your question whether there were changes? What
Yeah,
changes
just a little-
represent from earlier in the year?
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure that it's clear, the title, the column headings don't make clear, I think, to the public exactly how, what the difference between those columns are. And so I just wanted to make sure that it's just clear what those columns are and what they mean. So
Okay, I can-
Just some column heading.
Yeah, I can change, I mean, once it's adopted, I'll change the last one to final budget. And so once it's adopted, we'll adopt this. You have to take action and then I can change it in the software system and change the title. And so you'll have, your final budget will be your last. We won't have all of these columns. You'll just have your final, you'll have the original and your final. Those will be your two different columns.
so that the adjustments column will be gone.
Yeah,
then.
yes, the adjustments column will be gone.
And the title on the fourth column,
That was between the adjustments. So the adjustments was anything that we made at mid-year. And then, yes, and so then the preliminary and then this, the difference. So the last column, when it's a final, will be the difference between the original and your final budget. You'll have two columns on here. It'll be the original that you adopted originally, and then the final, and then,
final.
yeah, and then it'll be the final. The differences will just, because those were the two budgets that you adopted, essentially.
Okay.
Why are those two columns necessary for us tonight?
Why or what?
Because if they're going away.
I did not update the document, since the document wasn't being changed, I had to add the same document, or I just did the same document, and I can't. The way OpenGov, our system works, is until you adopt the final budget, I can't make it final, so that's why it's still preliminary. In this, because it's the same one that we did last time, and then I will make it final when I post it to the public. Yes.
I mean, quite frankly, I think this provides the greatest, like a bit of transparency to how we were running the situation, so
Right, be nice to even keep it.
yeah.
Which we can. But I can do your original budget, your preliminary budget, and your final budget. So those will be the three columns,
Yeah.
and they'll just bump over your three columns. So,
And then the
Yeah.
difference between
Mhm.
the final.
and then the difference between the final, yeah, and the preliminary.
Any thought on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure it's clear. I mean, it's sort of got that, but when I first looked at it, I go, oh, that. I was just looking at this briefly, or just glanced at it, that would confuse me. Because the percentage, I think is the difference between the preliminary, the third column, and then the. Adjustment column.
Correct.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that confused me a little bit, but I got it. It did take a little while to sort of connect everything, and I want to make sure that all of our. Financial numbers are just transparent and easy to read for the public, so they're not guessing at what the columns stand for and what they mean. So if it's going to be adjusted in the final.
Yeah.
Just to be very clear, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure that was the case.
So rather than the 2 columns, we'll end up with 3.
Yeah, so I'll have your original, you'll have your preliminary budget that you adopted, and then your final budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can certainly get into discussion about that if we have any concern about it, but any other questions on the budget? Any public comment on the budget?
No public comment.
Okay, post public comment on it, any discussion? Sandy?
I'm ready to move the items and adopt this resolution. If nobody else has any comments.
Any other comments or discussion?
I maybe just one comment, I'm sort of missing the visual aspects of a lot of these budgets. I know that we sort of put it in a summary at some point in time. But I had to do sort of a lot of calculations just to get in my picture visually what it meant. It sounds like this though, since this is just sort of the mid-cycle.
Yeah, the mid-cycle, we don't normally do that.
Yeah.
But I will look when I make it final on what the visuals for the percentages I can add back in. So, yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of numbers, I don't
Yeah.
have any.
I was saying about pie charts. Or,
Yeah, so I just wanted to be sure that, we're sort of tracking, like for me, I was interested in the wages and benefits that we're still tracking. Sort of where we want to be, so it's, I guess, 61% of our
Yeah.
total operating budget, so,
Mhm.
but it wasn't clear to me, sort of. Somebody's calling.
Please. Fair.
Mhm.
And so the numbers are fine,
Yeah.
I just like visuals, and so if it's not in the mid-cycle, then we'll be at the sort of final, that's fine as well.
Yeah, we normally, because you adopted your 2-year budget, and we're just making changes to that, but I will look at, especially for those like large, for like departments overall, I'll look at adding those in.
In the Budget Finance Committee, we had talked about getting a better handle on how the district is subsidizing certain programs or not subsidizing certain programs, the senior center, the teen center, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
With respect particularly to staffing and salary and benefits.
Yeah.
It was explained to us that because we're in a 2-year budget cycle, that making that change midstream would not be the right way to go at it. But that next year, as we enter into another 2-year budget, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, we can ask staff to perhaps present this information in a different way. I myself would like to see, some more clarity about programming and how it's being subsidized and subsidized is the wrong word, supported by
Rentals,
our
specifically,
yeah,
yeah.
but, well, yes, to a certain extent. But other certain programs, like I said, teen center, senior center, so that we really understand what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down a lot to staffing. What are we staffing? What are our costs for some of those? As we're moving forward and proposing budgets, because it's really policy level stuff
Yeah.
that I think we're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's not available to us. We should.
Yeah, again, it was not a critique, I'm just sort of just mentioning, I like visuals, and it's just taking a little bit longer to sort of connect there, especially since we're just sort of coming off of getting back on track, and I just wanted to be just more mindful of, are we tracking where we want to be sort of this mid-cycle, and if we get to the next 2-year cycle, those kind of questions I think would be very important, and the visuals I think would be also important as well, just to kind of see where everything is going, so. I agree.
Those are good underlying issues to be thinking about as we develop budgets for that in the future.
And that I would support this budget.
Well, I have no comments, Bobby. Then Sandy, if you wanted to make a motion to approve the final budget?
I'll move that we adopt the resolution 2026-07-23-A, authorizing fiscal year 2026-27 operating budget and final amendments.
Sorry.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for that. And thank you, Sandy, for your chairmanship of the budget committee and working with staff along with myself on this very important decision for the board this evening. Item 6.2 is to adopt a resolution establishing fiscal year 26-27 appropriations limit. We have a staff report, Michelle.
Yes, so per the state of California Constitution, this is an annual adoption of the appropriations limit or the GAN limit. And so basically that is the limit of the taxes that we can collect to use on programs. And so there's a complicated formula that's been going on since the 80s. And this kind of builds on itself. The short of it is that we are estimating our property taxes are less than what we can than what we are allowed to collect. So that is good. If it was more than what we were, if we were going to collect more than we were allowed to per the GAN limit, then we would have to give money back. So it is increased by per capita and a couple of things that the state says. It's included in their staff report. But basically the appropriations limit is $6.3 million in property taxes. That does not include bonds or assessments. I just need to make that clear. So it does not include any special taxes that were voted specifically on by the residents. This is only the property tax. So before you tonight is the resolution approving the appropriation limit for fiscal year 26-27.
Thank you. Any questions for Michelle on this item? It's very deep.
It's not really, yeah, it's not really something we can change.
Don't know what's that.
Just is, I don't know, just know that we don't have to give any money back, just know that.
If that's the bottom line.
Any wild and crazy public comment on this one?
No, well, okay.
Okay, we'll close public comment. Bring it back to the board. Would anyone like to make a motion on this item?
I'll move adoption of resolution 2026-07-23B, establishing the fiscal year 26-27 appropriations limit and approving adjustment factors.
Second
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Item number 7, verbal reports from committee chairs. Doesn't look like we've had any committee meetings. I know Budget and Finance tried to get together, but
It did not work.
Gonna put that off for a little bit.
Yeah, that first week in August, I'm gonna try to get, hopefully, when do you leave, Sandy?
So the whole public knows I'm leaving.
I'm sorry.
I'll deal with you later.
Well, tell me later. Later, we'll try to get it in before you're unavailable, so sorry. Nobody watches. But yeah, but hopefully in the first 2 weeks in August, so we can finalize the CIP and bring it back. So.
All right, comments, requests from committee chairs at all?
No, but I'll talk to Land and Facilities Chair as well as the Budget and Finance Chair, so.
Gonna do a two-step one.
Yeah.
Close item 7 and bring it to board announcements and requests to staff. Golly. Who are we teeing up? I guess you go first. We?
You're the boss. What order you want?
That doesn't mean I can't, I should step out of protocol.
Fair enough. I got just a couple of things. I discovered that July is Park and Rec month, which I didn't know. But we didn't do any celebrations
It's
for
Parks Make Life Better month, but
Parks,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I had a couple
Yeah.
of posts in my feed from other rec and park districts. I don't know how I got in my feed. It got in my feed. And there are a lot of celebrations apparently going around. Yeah, and so I thought that perhaps in the future year we partake in that celebration as well too. Second thing, kudos to the staff for Blues and Brews. It went really well. It was fun. I enjoyed my short introduction. I didn't have to memorize too much, just 2 lines. So thank you, Jen, just for those lines. I think it went great. I think the move of the beer garden to the shaded area works so much better and continue that. Lots of people enjoyed the shade in that area. And the 15th year, I think, went great. So kudos to staff on doing that. Couple final things, swim season's winding down, of course, for our last big meet before county this weekend. Looking forward to the Concord City meet. And then that means that school is starting up. It's like,
Yes, it is.
it was so quick. So summer went by really, really fast. So enjoy the last few weeks of summer. And then I guess we'll see each other. Can we call it fall yet or not? It's still August, I guess. Fair enough. I don't have anything extra. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Sandy?
I was able to attend a talk at Rogers Ranch again. This one was on reptiles, lizards, and snakes in the area and up on Mount Diablo. It was very interesting. I think there's 2 or 3 more, August, September. Yeah, there's 3 more coming up. They're usually the first Sunday of the month. But they've been interesting, fun. There's usually not a whole lot of people there. I think there were 8 or 9 this last one, which was good. And Blues and Brews, yes, they hit it out of the park again. Jen, Stephanie, Nicole she was at the
Scanning all the barcodes.
scanning all the barcodes, and so when we would get something at the info booth for the beer garden, I said, she's right over there. People want to go there. But everything went well. I didn't hear any complaints. People were just in a good mood. You know, Friday night it was cooler. But Saturday it was nice because it was beer garden and beer was flowing, and I think it'll be interesting to hear how that all went, because there were a lot of people that were enjoying the beer garden, but I didn't see anybody, at least where I was, that was out of control or anything like that. So it was a great event. Ended right at 9 or 9:05, and there were still a ton of people there at 9 o'clock, which Friday night, because I think it was colder, people were leaving between 8:30 and 9, but Saturday they were staying. And I was looking around, I thought, oh, there was a lot of people there. But they were all having a good time. So thank you again to everybody, staff, and who worked behind the scenes to get all that stuff done, because I know it can be really difficult. That's all I have.
Thank you, Sandy. Bobby, anything?
Yeah, I can't say enough great things about Blues and Brews, you know, I mean, kudos to the current team we have here for putting that together, because I know there was some consternation and some efforts to make some significant changes to it, and I thought that, like making the modifications that the current team did, it kept intact the ultimate goal, which has always been at Rec and Park, was to bring people out to the parks and provide a free event that people could enjoy, free live music. It hits all generations, it hits all of our residents, and that was a segment that had been brought to us that we had been missing, that this provided that, and just it knocked it out of the park. I mean, from the police chief to council members to random people from PHBA or PHMSA that I saw, every single one, the comment from every single person was that we have never seen this many people out at this event. And I thought it was just fantastic. So just kudos to the team and everything. And to see so many of our team out there, like our people out there working and doing what it took to get the job done to make that event for the public. So I thought that was awesome. The PHBA season wrapped up with the softball tournament a couple weekends ago, which was fantastic. Teams from all around the region came out. It was amazing. I thought that our team, I gotta give kudos to Tom, you know, we had Tom, there was an issue with the restroom, then there wasn't an issue with the restroom, but Tom, you know, was out there, the team was out there taking care of it, making sure that everything was going. And then I did want to give one thing, the day after Fourth of July was on a Saturday, that Sunday I was walking Pleasant Oaks and there had been somebody that had been out there that just thrashed the park, like thrashed that area between the PHBA snack shack and the batting cages. And there was stuff everywhere. And I actually was walking, I went back and I was like, I went back to get gloves because I'm like, I gotta come out here. Like, I can't leave. There was stuff everywhere. I mean, there was barbecue was left out there. I mean, destroyed. And by the time I like got done with my walk, got back to the house, came back up, I think it was Nick.
Yeah.
Nick had already cleaned everything up, was out there like cleaning stuff up on the street. I stopped him and I was like, did you clean all that stuff up? And so I just, he didn't know who I was. It was funny. But I kudos to him for just, I think that showed what every member of our team would be doing to make sure that our parks and facilities look, you know, beautiful. He didn't know who I was, and I was walking by. He just knew that, you know, he was gonna have to do that and like, you know, make sure that everybody that visited that park the rest of the day saw nothing but, you know, like an amazing park. And so just a kudos to Nick for being able to make sure that he got credit for that. So, but yeah, that's what I got.
Great shout out. That's really nice. And shout out to you too for being willing to go get some gloves and, you know, do it.
It was bad. When I talked to him, I was like, did somebody rent this? He's like, no, if they had, we would have gone after a deposit, but they were just there. Like, yeah. I'm sure there was a lot of other stuff he cleaned up in the park that day too, because I heard a lot of it going off later that night. Anyways.
Yes, many thanks to staff. I know how Blues and Brews taxes everyone. It's a lot of effort. Thank God the weather was pleasant. It probably drove a lot more people to our event than would otherwise have been. Truly grateful for, as you say, the multi-generational sort of thing that we're able to put on here. The kids know, when I've had my grandkids in the past, they just adored it. It was just so much to do and so many different things to do, and so many things they don't get to experience usually, or if they do, it's fun for them to do it again. So I heard nothing but great things about Blues and Brews, and so again, thanks Michelle to you and to all your staff that you led in making this a really successful event. Looking forward very much to the briefing. Anyway, and with that, I think we will adjourn this meeting at 7:27. Not only